I'm Steve with SNS Grills, and today we're making prime rib with smoked au jus and a little horseradish cream on the slow and sear Kamado. Nothing beats a good prime rib, and today we're going to take it to the next level by smoking it on the slow and sear Kamado, serving it up with a smoked au jus that we're going to use the drip and griddle pan for, also serving it with a little horseradish cream just to really round out this prime rib dinner. It's a very simple process, but just follow along. As always, the recipe will be in a link in the description. So let's just get right into it. First thing we need is a good piece of meat. And here I have 7-pound boneless prime rib. It's got some nice marbling in it. So what we want to do is take off most of that exterior fat and expose the surface of the meat so we can get some nice browning and so that seasoning can penetrate into the meat deeply. In a boneless prime rib, there's also this chain that sort of connects where the bones are connected. Since those bones are removed, that area is a little gristly and sinewy. So what I did is I went ahead and removed that part, and I saved that trim for our au jus sauce. Once the beef was trimmed nicely, I just wrapped it up, create a nice round shape to the meat so it cooks evenly. And then I got it dry brining a half a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound of meat. Then I placed that into the refrigerator uncovered for 1 day. You can take it all the way up to 2 days, but a minimum of 1 day is necessary for a piece of meat this big. This morning I took that piece of meat out. You can see the color deepened and the surface dried out, which is exactly what we want, and that salt penetrated all the way through. Now I just want to pat it dry, get any excess moisture off of there, and I'm gonna coat it with a wet rub. To make that, all you do is add a half tablespoon of dried rosemary, a half tablespoon of dried thyme. Then I add 2 tablespoons of our not just for beef rub, and then a little bit of olive oil to kind of create a paste. And then I just rub that all over the prime rib, which is what I have here. This guy is ready to go onto the grill. Then I just got some carrots, some celery, some onion, some garlic, and I roughly chopped all that up along with the trimming from the prime rib, and I threw that in my drip and griddle pan, which is what I have right here. This is gonna go underneath the beef, and all the drippings are gonna drip down into it. Halfway through the process, when I flip the meat, I'm gonna add some beef stock to this pan and let that sort of cook down, and at the end we'll strain it, reduce it by a little bit, and that's gonna be our au jus. So now I've got everything ready to go. Then I just had to set the slow and sear Kamado up for a reverse sear cook. We're looking for around 250 degrees on the indirect side, and we're gonna cook this for about 2 hours or until the internal temperature of this meat reaches about 110, 115 degrees. At that point, we're gonna get the slow and sear Kamado ready for searing. Then we're gonna sear this till the internal temp of the beef is about 128 degrees. Then we're gonna get it off and let it rest, finish off our au jus. About halfway through the cooking process, I wanna turn this prime rib so it cooks evenly. And at that time, I'm going to start to add some beef stock to the drip and griddle pan to start to create that au jus. So now I'm gonna put this drip and griddle pan on the lowest level of the Kamado, put the prime rib on the top rack, and let those juices drip down below. I'm gonna cook it for about an hour or so, I think, before I'm gonna need to flip it. Then I'm gonna continue cooking it till it hits about 110, 115 degrees. Then we're gonna move on to the sear. we're just gonna let that get up to around 80 to 90 degrees internal temperature before we flip, and then add our beef stock, and then a little bit of rosemary and a little bit of thyme. So the internal temperature of the meat is around 110. We're gonna take it off. We're gonna add some white hot coals to the slow and sear it to about 128 degrees, and then bring it inside and finish off the jus and slice it up. So now I have this jus base that I really kind of want to create a little bit more flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to throw this underneath the broiler. Char up some of that meat, throw it onto the stove, reduce it down, and that's going to be our jus. That meat's so big that can sit and rest for the amount of time it's going to take to put this together and still be good. And then we're going to have a delicious prime rib dinner. So now I just want to get all this stuff into the pot. I'm going to put some more stock in. I'm going to add a little Worcestershire sauce, a little soy sauce. I'm going to get this on the stove and just reduce it down. It's been resting to the perfect temperature. Wow, so delicious. Cooked to a nice medium rare. Horseradish sauce goes well if you like that kind of thing. And this au jus is delicious. Best of both worlds. Great piece of meat, cooked well, served with great things. What more can you ask for? A delicious prime rib dinner whenever you want. That's all that I have today. Thank you for watching. I'm Steve with SNS Grills. And remember, 2 zones are better than 1.